Hey guys, so the drop. Rocco. God. Hey guys, this is JD. The Drop is directed by Michaël Roskam and stars Tom Hardy, James Gandolfini, Noomi, Rapace, and a few other people as well. If you're not familiar with this, it's based around a bar in New York City that is owned by James Gandolfini's character. It's also the same bar that Tom Hardy's character bartends at, and it happens to be one of the so-called drop locations that the mob uses to drop off their money to kind of help keep everything organized within their system. Well, one of these nights, the bar is robbed, and so now there's this mysterious element as to who robbed this bar. Of course, now the mob wants their money back, and thus the story is set in motion. My main problem with this movie is that a lot of the characters, other than Tom Hardy's character, to a degree James Gandolfini, is they feel very forced and contrived, not to serve the story, but to serve this mystery element that's going on. People's reactions and their dialogue, they're not very naturalistic in the way that they react to certain things happening around them. And I didn't really care for a lot of that. I think the story is a little dull in some places. It's very subtle, it's very slow. But at the same time, the thing that really keeps this movie going for me is Tom Hardy. He is fantastic in this film. You really have to get to know this character a little bit to understand him. He can seem a little bizarre, a little weird at first, but this is a guy that is hiding something. He has a past that he is trying to move away from, and in the middle of this specific story, he comes across this puppy dog that he kind of creates a bond with, he becomes attached to, that he's never really had before in his life. He has this added responsibility that to him is a big deal. And I thought the way that that was handled was pretty compelling for the most part. Now, there are certain elements that surround some of that still that, again, feel contrived because of other characters in the film. But for the most part, I had a pretty good time with this film. I think Tom Hardy, as I mentioned, is fantastic. James Gandolfini in his last role is very, very good as well. I just wish that there was a little bit more coherency, a little bit more groundedness with the actual narrative. But other than that, I think it's pretty well made. I think the aesthetic and the way the camera works in this is decently okay. I think it works in it, and that serves the story. We don't get a grand scale of the mob or of New York City necessarily, but I think with the neighborhood that these guys are part of, you definitely feel that. And you gotta love the chemistry between Tom Hardy and James Gandolfini. Solid stuff. So overall, I would give this movie a B+. I'm perhaps being a little bit generous with it. It's probably more in the B to B- range, and it just really depends on how you feel and how you engage with the Tom Hardy character, with the James Gandolfini character. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment below. Hit us up on Facebook or Twitter. Also on our site, this weekend we will have written reviews of Tusk and a few other films, and we'll also have another video review of The Maze Runner coming up this weekend as well. So be sure to be on the lookout for that, and you can check everything we do at InsessionFilm.com. We'll see you guys next time.